Alrighty, welcome back to another part of the maytag disassembly here series. And I went ahead and I took our hit and miss motor off. I set it over there. I set our belt on top of it. I got all that off, and the next thing we're going to go ahead and do is we'll go back to this plate here, and there are 2 1/2-inch bolts here. I already got them loose. We'll remove this, get that out of the way. We'll go ahead and set that over here. And then the next step there is we'll go ahead and take this agitator off the shaft right here, and it has 3 1/2-inch bolts. There's one there, one there, one there. The one under here you want to be careful about because it's kind of hidden, so make sure you get all them out. Don't pry or anything on this thing, and you got to be very gentle when you pull it off. So we'll go ahead and get this off. I already took our 1/2-inch bolts out. They are different lengths, so make sure and keep them all in order. And all you do is to simply move this shaft here. You just simply wiggle it and pull it up. So it comes out like that. This is our agitator shaft here. And the way this is engaged here, this is our lever here. This is our I guess you would call it clutch. Some people call it clutch, but if you move this, this is in the on position right here. There's on, there's off. Turn this way on, turn that way off. And as you're doing that, you pay attention right here, it just raises and lowers it. And that's what engages this shaft and makes it turn, as you can see. So there's the teeth. You want to inspect these. Make sure they're not, broken or any kind of excessive wear. Ours look really good. That's what engages this, and that's what makes this agitator here go back and forth. So you just pull it on up, and that's how it removes. We'll go ahead and we'll take our bolts there, and we'll go ahead and reinstall these back into the threads here so they don't get lost. There's 3 of them. And there's another gasket as well that goes between this surface here and on top of this transmission. And as you can see, ours is pretty well shot. So we'll go ahead and replace that as well. There we go. I pulled that off pretty gently. I'll set that on top of our shaft there. And then we can use that for a pattern. So our next step here is, now that we got them 2 things out of the way, we're going to go ahead and loosen all these bolts on this transmission here and get it out of the way. So you have 8 1/2-inch bolts. You have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, come around 7, 8 1/2-inch bolts with 7 16-inch nuts all the way around on here. So you want to go ahead and loosen all these up. That way that'll loosen this up and just start in the middle, because this is all cast iron. Start in the middle, kind of spread out. That's what I went ahead and did, and that'll loosen all that up. And then once you get them all out of the way, then you can go ahead and we got to get our pulley off. This is a 3/8 nut here on our pulley. Go ahead and loosen that up. You can take this off just like so. And then we'll take our pulley. We got to get this pulley off, and then we also have a 1/2-inch bolt over here to get this guard off. This goes up under here. You can see it. So we'll go ahead and take that the rest of the way off. And this will let our guard come off. It looks like there's a shim right here as well. So you don't want to lose that shim. Where that little bracket there bolts, there's actually a little shim right there. So I have to keep that in mind. So we'll set that with our bracket that goes to that. So we're just about done. It's not a whole lot left. Go ahead and get this guard out of the way. And then that way we can get our pulley off so we can get our transmission and everything pulled apart here. There's a pin right here you have to knock out in order to get this mechanism right here off. So we'll go ahead and we got to get this linkage off right here, and then this little pin right here, we got to knock that out, and then we got to get our pulley off. And then after that we got another, looks like it's a 3/8 right here. So we want to get that off as well. So that we can go ahead and get our whole transmission apart here. Alright, so you just want to take like a board and put it underneath here and just gently go to side, and it will come up, and just gently tap it up, and this will come out next, just like that. This is part of the ringer shaft. We'll go ahead and set that to the side. Almost looks like a distributor, kind of. And we'll take our piece and put back in right here. Alright, so now we'll go ahead and move our pulley here. I went ahead and loosened this 3/8 nut up here, so go ahead and loosen that up. And then we'll go ahead and take like a screwdriver or something. You want to be gentle when you do this. Just get behind it, and there's this cast iron right here. So it's a good strong push. So just gently, very gently, just pry it just a little bit and spin that shaft. And we'll go ahead and do it again. As you can see, it's moving. Just keep rotating it, and eventually it will work its way off. Just like that. Alright. Now I got the pulley off just about. There we go. Oops. Now we got our pulley off. We'll set that there, and then we have a 1/2 inch bolt back here. We want to go ahead and loosen that up. Apologize, my dog's barking. And that will allow this guard right here to come off. Alright, so we got our bolt out, and we went ahead and loosened the one up that holds the guard up on the other side here. That's a 1/2 inch as well. I don't have to take it all the way off, but just loosen it up. Then we'll take our guard here and it just simply pulls off to the side, just like that. Now, the way I was talking about earlier in the video there is this guard here, the way it's designed, it has little, I guess you would call it crimps / tangs maybe, but there's one in here right there, and the way this goes together is, the wrong way. Yes, I do. Yep. But the way this goes together here is it has to go inside of it like that. To do, and then this other side comes on the outside. It sits inside of it like it. I can do it here. Alright, I had to get this thing together here like it's supposed to be. But this cover sits on the outside of this other cover here, and now you can actually see what I'm talking about. I'll get a screwdriver here and point it out. But there are some notches in this cover. You have one right here, then you have another one down here, then you have two notches in this cover in here. And basically what you have to do is you have to push this thing together like this when you reinstall it, and those notches have to line up with the other notches in there, and that's what holds this together. And that's on both sides as well. There's the other one. There we go. And that's what holds that together, is you have them little notches. And you want to be gentle with this when you pull it back apart, is you just want to kind of get in there and just kind of wiggle it apart there, and that'll allow that to come apart. But that's how that comes apart there, because it's got them notches in there. Just remember that. But anyway, I wanted to point that out there, and just to kind of help people out there. But yeah, that kind of reminds me of a distributor, the way that works there for the ringer there. But pretty neat there. So now we're going to go ahead and pull this cover off. We already got everything loosened up. Let's take our bolt for our guard there. We'll place that back in there, just like so it don't get lost. Then we'll take our pulley and we'll go ahead and sit that over here. Sit that over here so it does not get lost. And now I believe we are ready. The only thing that's really left is we got to get this linkage off for the clutch. So we got to get that off yet. So I am going to have to figure out a way to get that off. So anyway, I'm going to be right back. Alright, now I'm going to go ahead and remove this transmission cover here. So we'll just gently lift it up. And I might have to come back and get this pin right here, because there's a little pin that's driven through here for this linkage for this lever right here to engage the agitator. And I might have to go in there and probably take a grinder and grind them ends off and then drill that out so I can get that off, so I can be able to get this transmission off. But that's the only thing I run into really on the whole thing, I think. I think that'll be an issue. But I'll get her fixed. That's not a big deal. So you just want to pry it up really gently. And raising on up here. Alright, so I got it off. I just had to wiggle a little bit to get it off this shaft for the ringer there. And then went ahead and got it completely off. This is the first time I've seen it, so it's kind of neat. It's got a cork style gasket on it. It looks pretty good. Looks pretty good. We'll set that over to the side here. And now I can kind of, this is our worm gear. This is kind of reminds me of a toothbrush because it goes back and forth. Let's take this pulley here. I'll put it back on here and I'll show y'all how it actually works, which is kind of neat. Alright. So you just turn this pulley here, and if you watch it, well, I'll tighten that pulley back up. Hold on. Tighten this bolt back up. There you go. But as this turns, it turns this worm gear right here, which is right here, and then it has some bunch of teeth on a gear right here, and it's kind of like a connecting rod, like in a basically like a small engine, or regular car engine. It's like a connecting rod, pretty much this whole giant thing. And as this rotates, you can see it's offset like that, and if you follow it up, that's what in return makes our agitator go back and forth. So it's really neat how this works. I'll even take a step further, because I know there's not many videos on YouTube of this. Let's set our agitator back on. To hold it. And as you look, that's what rotates back and forth. So it's really neat how this works here. Got a little bind in there. I think that gasket was catching it. There we go. So everything is free. That's really good. And it looks like they got regular gear on here. That's what it looks like. It's going to be going in this direction. So your hit and miss motor runs counterclockwise, if you really look at that. Yeah, it runs counterclockwise. And then this pulley right here will run counterclockwise as well. So this is actually the direction, counterclockwise now, counterclockwise. As this washer is running, this is how it works. There's no clutch on this side, not in this part, but there is got to be some sort of clutch to make the wringer work. The teeth all look pretty good. That's what you want to look for too. But anyway, that's how this works here, and I hope y'all liked it. And there'll be more videos to come. The next videos will be here is getting this pin out of here somehow or another, and we'll get this thing apart here and we'll get her cleaned up. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you on the next part.